Hello? Old Conrail caboose. Oh, there is somebody in there. He must be asleep if he don't see me. God, he is asleep. God. Now he'll look as I'm walking away. He must be on the phone or something. Well, we are in Willard, Ohio. It's a moderate-sized freight yard here. Yeah, I've been coming through Willard for over 30 years now. And lucked out. Last time I was here, I don't remember that electric jack. Got a chance to charge everything last night. So I just slept right here while that battery pack charged. I just rolled everything up. It's hid during the night, but those intermodal trains come flying by. Now, some of them stop. That's what happened to me last night. I got on in Buffalo, got back on yesterday, and made it's about 240 miles, I guess, 250, maybe. And I was really worried about going into that IM facility in North Baltimore, Ohio, about another 40, 50 miles from here. You hit the Flatonia junction up here, and you go south. Now, you don't necessarily go to the yard by going south of the Flatonia, but that IM yard's about 3 miles west of New Baltimore. There's 2 mains that go by the yard. Now, last time I came through here, I thought I was going in that damn yard. We just happened to stop out there for about an hour. But we went on to Chicago. There has been nothing but IM after IM after IM flyby. And there was a freight that stopped. And, but he was way up. It would have taken me, by the time I got down there, it had been going again. Well, when we stopped here last night, I bailed off about a half mile down and walked back up this way towards town. Never had problems here, ever. I'll try to make a video down there at that sewer pond on the left. But I'm going to walk down just to make sure when that next freight train stops that I'm down about mid-train so I can get on. Because when I walk from here down to the end of the train, that'd be a 30-minute walk. And if I was already down there, I'd be 30 minutes ahead on finding a ride. Sun's fixing to come up. It got a little chilly last night. Probably 48, 45 maybe. But save a lot. It's just right up that way about, 3/4 of a mile. And the old fuel facilities up that way too. And the roundhouse over there, or what's left of it. Show you how fast they come by here. Another ethanol train. They just had one go by 3 minutes ago. Oh, sun just popped up over that boxcar. Well, I made it to Willard, Ohio. That IM I was on, that intermodal train, that I kept worrying that that was going to go to New Boston, the big IM yard there. So we stopped here in Willard for a couple of minutes last night, and I bailed off. Better on the safe side. And I just slept back here and have an active plug to charging my phone. Anyway, yeah, once it hits Fostoria, it heads south to New Boston and then the IM yard, or it can continue on to Chicago, Bedford Park, most of them go to. But that's a long walk to anywhere from that IM facility. This way goes through Tiffin and the big interchange past it in Fostoria. Willard, I've been coming through here a lot since the last 32 years, and I always come to this spot. I just don't remember having a jack to charge all my stuff. I guess I was already either charged up or just don't remember. But the thing is, you gotta be kind of quiet, because of that. There was a guy on the porch earlier, so he's probably used to seeing hobos. But it's a pretty good sized yard. The yard office is up there about a mile on the left. And some trains still crew change here. Now yesterday when we got into Cleveland, we changed crews and fueled up that first engine, pulled up half mile to the DPU in the middle. Fuel put, I don't know, maybe 700-800 gallons on. He couldn't have got more than that. We weren't there but about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Well, they just super forced that fuel in, kind of like how they fuel NASCAR cars. Just shoots that fuel in there. But yeah, and most locomotives hold around 4,000, 5,000 gallons. But yeah, these are all stockpiled boxcars. They just hold them until they needed. And that string of boxcars goes all the way down to South Africa, it seems like. No, actually that's west. So it would be even longer going that way to South Africa. Nah. Well, can y'all tell which hand has the missing fingers? Oops, I gave it away. But anyway, I'm gonna walk down a little bit further, throw a video together. Hey there. Well, down here in between the cars, like I am in the yard, hobos call that also being down in the jungle. Because no one can really see you in between. Now, if the bull's ever after you, you just bend down and look for his flashlight or his legs walking. You can see underneath. And if you think he's doing the same thing, just stand next to a tandem. Just stand next to one of the axles. Let that hide your legs. Also, what we could do, take a couple of rocks about that size and just throw them over the cars. Not there, but over. And they hear that. If you can throw it a good 7-8 cars over, then that bull's gonna think you're down there walking around when he hears that. So that gives you 4 or 5 car lengths to kind of get ahead. Yeah, I'm just walking in the jungle here because the main line is out over there. I don't want to walk down it and a train go by and see me. Still in Willard. Yeah, these are them old holdover boxcars. The wheels are actually rusted. Yeah. Look how long they've been here. Well, I wish I had a way to have two hands free here. Let's see if I can stick this leg down in that deal. Oh yeah, that might work. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, there we go. I was gonna kind of show you how this mechanism works. You have to pull this out of the way first. And you pull the pin up, and that handle on the door up there lays in there with a hole in it. And this is hooked into it, and you just lower that handle, move it out, and try to let it down real quiet. But it's already open, so that's not a full demonstration. Now the leg's stuck. But anyway, I'm gonna walk down a little further. Okay, see my bucket? Well, since I busted my arm and got fingers missing, I set the bucket there. I put my gear in the boxcar first. And then I step up on the bucket. I need a longer rope. Pull the bucket in. That rope needed to be a little longer. I was going to show you these airbags. They put about 8 pounds per square inch in these, and they put them in between the loads and air them up to hold the loads tight. They're like a big ballast balloon. Now, the paper one, you can cut along here, and it's got 8 separate layers of paper in it, and then an inner plastic bag, and those actually are pretty warm to sleep in. But you can see there's plenty of room, walk around. And I like boxcar that has some extra dunnage in it, 2x4s and stuff. You ever get locked in, you got a way to pry yourself out if you can get it in between the crack of the door. Yeah, this yard here is one I'm pretty sure they closed down the main functions of all the pumping and flat switching. I can't be too loud because the house over behind me. But yeah, I've never caught out down here. I walked down pretty far west. But last night when a junk train came in, I was a little bit too far out, and it was unordinarily short, which is why I didn't get it. Plus I was tired. But I gotta wear my glasses for watching the yard now. These are great for far off viewing. It's still a little blurry because of the spotches I can't see through, but other than that, they're perfect. They're bifocals too. But most of the time, everything that I encounter is within 6 or 8 foot of me, and they really don't help. That's why a lot of my videos you don't see me having them on. But out here doing this and walking, like in a city, walking downtown trying to get somewhere, the store or wherever, they're perfect. Perfect. So I just keep them on my neck. But let me show you where I'm at. I wish I knew how far my voice is carrying. There's a house right behind me. Yeah, just watching to see if workers hook up any hoses. You've got all my gear. Kind of windy today. Yeah, I had to move to a different spot. I was a little too close to a house, a couple of houses, and I'm sure it would be a matter of time they'd be calling the cops. And you know how people are. In order to get the cops to come out, they add juice, add meat to the story just to get them to come out. I mean, it'd be like, 911, what's your emergency? Oh yeah, there's a guy on my property where the wood line is. He's running around barefoot and he's buck naked, waving his hands and screaming with a knife and a gun and a hammer. Hurry. Then the cops come out and you don't know what's going on. You got your finger picking your nose, and when they show up, 6 guns are drawn on you. When that happens, I start telling them, I tell the cops, well, I wonder if the person who called you is aware that falsifying a police report is against the law too. I've had where people told the cops I was breaking into cars, and all I was doing was sitting on the edge of the sidewalk taking a breather. Yeah, these blackberry vines, oh doggone, them are rough on you. That's why I wear Carhartt, only Carhartt, because you can just graze right through that stuff. Not even feel it. Yeah, if those were Kmart or Walmart pants, I'd be on the way to the ER right now. Yeah, crew change office is just up there on the left. So going eastbound this way, they're starting out at 0 miles an hour. So by the time they get here, they're climbing speed. They're highballing it. And by the time they get down to where I was last night by that box, charging my phone, they're pretty much top speed. But coming in going westbound, they're starting to slow down so they can stop at that same building and swap crews. And I'm down around the curve far enough where they can't see me right in here. So, and I'm about, 30-40% of the way back from the front on an average length train. Can't believe all the old abandoned boxcars that are here. This whole yard's full of rusty old boxcars that rusted to the dang track. But yeah, you could sleep back here if you had to. It's about 56, 57 degrees right now. And mosquitoes are still a little bit out. But a few degrees lower and you won't have no problem with them at all. They kind of go into a dormant mode to find the underside of a leaf to cling to until it warms up. Another cool thing I wanted to show is on all rail, the manufacturer and the date will be on it on the side. See that? That was made in 1924. Now most of it's made in Bethlehem. That Carnegie rail. A lot of your yard track will be the oldest because it's not used as often as a main line, so it lasts a lot longer. Now this main line rail, that's a different story. They replace it a lot more often because there's a lot more traffic on it. Yeah, like 1998. That's Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Bethlehem Steel. And that's still fairly unworn. I mean, you can see wear on the inside. The inside will always wear faster. And all this has been replaced. You can see the dust still on top of the rocks. New ties. Yeah, when my train comes, I gotta get all the way down that hill. That's a lot steeper than it looks. And it's hard to judge depth with my eyes. Oh, it's gonna be fun getting up Mount Everest here. Ugh. Imagine with a backpack, I gotta go back down there. Ugh. Now, if I can remember where my gear is. But anyway, that's, if you didn't know that about the rail. Yeah, while I was out taking a walk, I noticed Ohio is full of chicory. I seen the flowers and I thought, because I had my glasses on, that's the first time I've seen chicory since my eyes went bad. If you're not sure what it is, well, chicory, I'm actually pulling some up to make some chicory tea. You take the root right where it starts growing underground, you cut it off right here. And sometimes I kind of bend mine and break it a little to let the boiling water get in a little better. You get 4 or 5 of these roots like this. Put you a cinnamon stick in the boiling water along with it and boil it for about a minute and you got chicory tea. I always thought that was a real pretty flower. It really don't have a smell, but the root has an earthly smell all its own. It almost looks like a weed well, it is. I mean, if it's not flowering, you'll never know what it is really. It almost looks like, kind of like, it grows like where dandelion would. It grows in real harsh places like this roadbed here. Get my claw around it. Yeah, right in the middle where the tires aren't rolling is where I've been finding it. Yeah, I was scouting around and looking around in the yard and I looked down, I seen that blue, and I thought, well, God, I haven't really seen colors either. Yeah, there's another one. You just grab it right at the base where it comes out of the ground and kind of wiggle it. Well, now I can't find my gear with my glasses on. I gave my little tea kettle to Steve Wardrip, a traveling friend of mine. That's right. Dang, I just remembered that. Well, I'll still keep a bunch of this root. It'll work dry too. But, God, is that blurry? Oh, it's still focused in. Yeah, just to give you a good look at it so you'll know. And the root, you make chicory tea. You could probably Google how to make it too. Yeah, I just thought of something. If you're a traveler and you really need cover quick to get out of sight, or you just need a place to bed down for a few hours to get some rest, I'll let you in on a little something you might not know. Now, most people would look at this and say, okay, I want to go back under them trees and get hid. Well, look at all the blackberry vines and all the weeds you got to go through to get there, and vines. Well, you pick the area that has trees. See where the trees start? Well, always know that whenever you get to that tree line, all the weeds and vines and blackberries end and it opens up. That's because the canopy doesn't allow sunshine down to the bottom, so the plants can't grow. And any seeds that fall down in there really don't sprout. And if they do, the plant doesn't live that long. But out here, you can tell the trees have been cut away here because weeds and vines, just almost impassable, have taken over. So I just take my machete or just tromp down at the base on the bottom of the stem where it comes out of the ground and just work your way back. And it just grows like wildfire here, because when there was trees over the top of this, all the birds pooped all them blackberry seeds and plant seeds, but they couldn't grow. But once the trees were removed, that sunlight hit and every one of them just like sprouted and come up. That's why it comes up like wildfire. And blackberry seeds, the reason there's so many more blackberry vines than anything else, they're a really hardy seed. Got a woody shell that surrounds the germ, and that germ is what germinates, hence the word germinate. Like wheat germ, you've heard of that. Well, a germ is like the DNA of what all the plant's going to be when it grows up. But most herbaceous plants, they have kind of weak shells around the germ, and they don't last but a year or two on the forest floor, and that's why there's not an abundance of them. But blackberry seeds, they can sit for years on the forest floor and still be good and still germinate. That's why you have more blackberry vines. Yeah, he's kind of show you what blackberry looks like. Now up northwest, like Oregon and Washington, man, them blackberries get big as your thumb, but they really don't have that much of a taste. They're not that sweet, I think. But around like here in Arkansas, Missouri, all the blackberry, we used to go blackberry picking, and then muscadine, we'd go picking them, make jam. But yeah, let me show you, the forest floor just opens up whenever you get to where no sunlight reaches. See how you can see clear back in there? That's because there's no light gets to the floor and nothing can sprout. And that's kind of with landscaping. When you really want to make a place look good, go into the first trees and start like 5 foot up, and you cut all them branches that are coming out of the trunk all the way up to that 5 foot mark. Do that on every tree, every first and second tree that you come to in depth into the woods. just cut 1 or 2 tree lengths back and cut all the way up to a certain point, 5 or 6 foot. Then when you step back, everything looks nice and even, and just that contrast between the dark undergrowth of the canopy and the trees just